Good morning, dear students. Today we are on The Last Bargain. It's a poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali polymath poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter. He reshaped Bengali literature and music as well as Indian art with contextual modernism in the late 19th and the early 20th centuries. He was born on 7th May 1861 in Kolkata. He died on 7th August 1941 in Kolkata. A dancing woman, a lady with flowers, standing figure, head study are some of his artworks. Gitanjali, Stream of Life, Vocation are some of his poems. Now let's move to the poem in detail. The Last Bargain is a philosophical poem, and in this poem, we can see a man who is in search of work. On his way, he encountered with different types of people who wanted to hire him. In the morning, he met with a king who wanted to hire him with his power. Then in the afternoon, he met with an old man who had a bag of gold and wanted to hire him with his money. In the evening, he met with a lady who took care of the flowers in the garden. She said she would hire him with a smile. But the man refuses all their offers. At the end, he met with a child who said that he would hire him for nothing. The man agreed to him, as in his opinion, freedom is more valuable than power, money, and beauty. Take page number 74 on your textbook. Now let's go to the poem. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in the hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. In the first stanza, the poet describes a man who is looking for work. The man cried and asked to be hired while he was walking in the morning on the road filled with stones. Then a king came on a chariot with a sword in his hand. Here the sword shows the power of the king. He offered him power in return for his service. The man felt that the king was not worth much, so he refused the king's offer. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. The second offer came to him in the afternoon, when the weather was scorching. He was surprised when he saw an old man with a bag of gold approaching him along the twisted road. The old man thought for a while and then offered him gold coins in return for his labor or service. The man did not accept his offer as he felt that gold could not buy everlasting happiness. What is the need of the person? He needs everlasting happiness. Now let us go to the next stanza and see from where he gets this everlasting happiness. It was evening, the garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back along into the dark. In the third stanza we see, in the evening the man saw a beautiful garden full of flowers and a fence of plants. And there comes a beautiful maidservant who was taking care of the garden. She came out and said she would give him a smile in return for his work. The man found that her smile was for a short period of time and would melt into tears. Subsequently, he refused her offer too. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. Finally, the man reached the seashore, where the sun is heavy and it seems like the sea waves were breaking the boundaries. A child was sitting there and playing with the seashells. He raised his hand and said, he had nothing to give him in return for his work. The man accepted his offer as he felt that he would not have to compromise his freedom. Dear students, this poem teaches a man who was bothered only about his freedom and happiness. For real and everlasting happiness, we do not need power, money, or beauty. Freedom and innocence can make a person's life happy and contented. After reading this poem, we'll be thinking, what a foolish is this person? Why he rejected a power? Why he rejected money? Why he rejected the beauty? He wants only happiness. And this happiness gets from his freedom.